Hi there, Fruity fam. Did you know that some of your favorite fruits might not be what you think they are? It's true. The world of botany is full of surprises. And today we're peeling back the layers on a fruity subject. We often call things fruits based on how they taste. Sweet, juicy, maybe a little tart. But botanists, the scientists who study plants, have a whole different system for classifying fruits. In today's episode, we're diving into the fascinating world of fruit classifications. Get ready to discover some mind-blowing facts about the fruits we enjoy every day. We'll uncover the truth behind common misconceptions and learn why things aren't always as they seem. Are you ready? Let's get started. Let's start with a fruit that's universally loved, the banana. We peel them, slice them, mash them, but how much do we really know about these curved yellow wonders? Prepare to be amazed because, botanically speaking, a banana is a berry. I know what you're thinking, Bill, you're bananas, but hear me out, because this is where things get interesting. You see, a berry, by definition, is a fruit that develops from a single ovary in a flower and contains one or more seeds. And guess what? That perfectly describes our friend, the banana. Those tiny black specks you often see in bananas, those are actually immature seeds. So next time you enjoy this potassium-packed treat, remember you're indulging in a berry. Now you might be wondering how a banana bunch grows from a flower. Well, it's a fascinating process. Banana plants produce a large flower cluster, and each tiny flower within that cluster has the potential to develop into a banana. As the flowers are pollinated, they begin to swell and develop into the elongated fruit we know and love. The banana plant is quite clever, ensuring that multiple bananas develop from a single flower cluster. This bunching behavior is another characteristic of berries. Think about grapes, for example. They also grow in clusters, and each grape is a tiny berry. So the next time you're at the grocery store, take a moment to appreciate the incredible journey of the banana, from flower to the berrylicious fruit we enjoy. Bananas are a fantastic example of how science can challenge our assumptions. We might call them fruits in our everyday language, and that's perfectly fine. But understanding the botanical definition of a berry reveals a whole new layer of appreciation for this common fruit. It's a reminder that there's always more to learn about the natural world, even when it comes to something as familiar as a banana. So keep asking questions, stay curious, and never stop exploring the wonders of science. And the next time someone tells you bananas aren't berries, you can confidently say, think again. Okay, science sleuths, we've tackled the banana, and now it's time to investigate another fruit that's often misunderstood, the strawberry. It's right there in the name, right? Strawberry. Berry, case closed. Well, not so fast. Remember our botanical definition of a berry, a fruit that develops from a single ovary in a flower containing one or more seeds. Strawberries, as it turns out, don't quite fit the bill. Take a close look at a strawberry. Those tiny seed-like structures on the outside, those aren't actually seeds at all. They're called achenes, and each one contains a single true seed inside. So, if a strawberry isn't a berry, what is it? Well, botanically speaking, it's something called an aggregate fruit. This means it develops from a single flower with multiple ovaries, each producing a tiny fruitlet. Those achenes we see on the outside of the strawberry are actually the fruitlets. And the fleshy red part we love to eat, that's actually derived from the receptacle of the flower, which swells up as the fruitlets develop. It's like a botanical magic trick. The strawberry tricks us into thinking it's a single fruit, but it's actually a collection of tiny fruits all clustered together. Pretty neat, huh? Now, I know what you might be thinking. Bill, you're bursting my berry bubble. But here's the thing, even though strawberries aren't technically berries, they're still delicious and nutritious. And understanding their true botanical classification just adds another layer of fascination to these juicy red treats. It's a reminder that the natural world is full of surprises and there's always something new to learn. So next time you bite into a strawberry, remember, you're not just enjoying a single fruit, but a whole aggregate of tiny fruits. And that's pretty berry amazing if you ask me. Hey there, science fans, let's talk tomatoes. These vibrant, juicy fruits are a staple in many of our favorite dishes. We put them in salads, sauces, sandwiches, they're everywhere. From the simplest garden salad to the most complex gourmet dishes, tomatoes add a burst of flavor and color. But here's a question that might make you look at your next BLT a little differently. Did you know a tomato is actually a fruit? Yes, you heard that right. I know. You're thinking, Bill, are you pulling my lab coat? But it's true, and it's all about the science behind it. Tomatoes are savory, not sweet. So how can they be fruits? Well, let's dive into the botanical world to uncover the truth. But hold on to your beakers, because the truth is juicier than you think. The classification of fruits and vegetables isn't based on taste alone. You see, classifying fruits and vegetables isn't about taste alone, it's about their botanical origins. This means we need to look at how they develop and grow. Fruits develop from the flower of a plant and contain seeds. This is a key characteristic that sets them apart from vegetables. Think about it, that juicy red flesh of a tomato. It's not just delicious, it's a botanical wonder. That's the ovary of the flower, and those little yellow bits we usually try to avoid, those are the seeds. Each one has the potential to grow into a new tomato plant. So, next time you're at the grocery store, remember that tomato isn't just a tasty ingredient, it's a scientific marvel masquerading as a vegetable. Appreciate the journey it took from garden to table. Now, this whole fruit versus vegetable thing can be a bit confusing. It's a topic that has puzzled many people for years, and it's easy to see why. The way we categorize these foods can vary depending on whether we're talking about culinary uses or botanical definitions. You see, in the culinary world, we often classify foods based on how we use them in recipes. For instance, we think of vegetables as savory ingredients that add depth and flavor to our dishes. Fruits, on the other hand, are usually sweet and often enjoyed as snacks or desserts. Tomatoes, with their savory applications, fit the bill for veggies in the kitchen. We use them in salads, sauces, and countless other dishes that require a touch of acidity and richness, but in the plant world, it's a whole different story. Botanically speaking, tomatoes are classified as fruits because they develop from the flower of the tomato plant and contain seeds. And get this, tomatoes aren't the only ones leading a double life. Think about cucumbers, squash, and even bell peppers. These are all commonly thought of as vegetables in the kitchen, but botanically they're fruits too. Avocados, yep, those are all fruits too. They all develop from the flower of a plant and contain seeds, which is the key characteristic that defines a fruit in botanical terms. They all develop from the flower of a plant and contain seeds. This means that many of the foods we commonly refer to as vegetables are actually fruits in the scientific sense. It's enough to make your head spin, right? The distinction can be quite perplexing, especially when you're trying to categorize your favorite foods. But that's the beauty of science. It constantly challenges our assumptions and makes us look at the world around us with fresh eyes. By understanding these botanical classifications, we gain a deeper appreciation for the complexity and diversity of the plant kingdom. It constantly challenges our assumptions and makes us look at the world around us with fresh eyes. This newfound knowledge can even enhance our culinary experiences as we begin to see the connections between different types of produce. So, the next time you bite into a juicy slice of watermelon, remember that you're enjoying a fruit, even though it might not fit the typical image of one. Or savor the sweetness of a ripe mango, knowing that it's part of this fascinating category of foods that blur the lines between fruits and vegetables. Remember, you're enjoying the fascinating world of fruits. Each bite is a reminder of the intricate and wonderful ways nature works to provide us with such diverse and delicious foods. Now, you might be wondering, if tomatoes, cucumbers, and avocados are fruits, then what makes something a vegetable? Well, in botany, vegetables are all the other parts of the plant that we eat. This includes roots like carrots and beets, stems like celery and asparagus, and even leaves like spinach and lettuce. It's all about the plant anatomy, so while we might lump them all together in the produce aisle, fruits and vegetables have distinct origins in the plant world. Understanding these botanical classifications not only satisfies our curiosity, but also helps us appreciate the intricate processes that bring food to our tables. Hey there, science fans! Welcome back to another exciting episode where we dive deep into the wonders of the natural world. Today, We're going to unravel the fascinating truth about berries. You might think you know what a berry is, but prepare to be surprised. You see, in the realm of science, things aren't always as they seem, especially when it comes to fruits and, you guessed it, berries. Many fruits we commonly call berries aren't actually berries in the botanical sense. So what exactly makes a berry a berry? Is it just its small size and juicy texture? Well, not quite. There's a lot more to it than meets the eye. For instance, did you know that strawberries, raspberries and blackberries aren't true berries? That's right, despite their names, they don't fit the botanical definition of a berry. Botanists, those brilliant minds who study plants, have a very specific definition of a berry. According to them, a true berry is a fruit that develops from a single ovary in a flower. A berry, my friends, is a fruit that develops from a single ovary in a flower. This means that the entire fruit comes from one ovary, unlike aggregate fruits like strawberries, which come from multiple ovaries. This ovary, the heart of the flower, houses the seeds. As the fruit matures, the ovary wall transforms into the fruit we eat. And get this, the entire ovary wall ripens into a fleshy, edible pericarp. This pericarp is what makes the fruit juicy and delicious. That's right, the pericarp is just a fancy word for the fruit part we love to eat. So next time you bite into a juicy berry, remember the fascinating science behind it. Now let's take a closer look at the anatomy of a berry. Picture this, you slice open a juicy blueberry. What do you see? Tiny seeds, right? Those seeds are surrounded by a fleshy, delicious pulp. That pulp, my friends, is the pericarp we talked about. And guess what? It's made up of 3 layers, the exocarp, the mesocarp, and the endocarp. Don't worry, you don't need to memorize these names for a pop quiz. The important thing to remember is that all 3 layers of the pericarp need to be fleshy for a fruit to be considered a true berry. So the next time you're enjoying a handful of blueberries or grapes, remember those 3 layers. Now, here's where things get really interesting. You see, not all berries look like the typical blueberries and raspberries we're used to. Some berries are masters of disguise. Take a watermelon, for instance. Yes, you heard that right. A watermelon. It fits the botanical definition of a berry perfectly. It develops from a single ovary, and its entire ovary wall ripens into that sweet, juicy flesh we all love. And if you think that's surprising, wait till you hear about avocados. Believe it or not, avocados are also berries. They might not be as sweet as their other berry counterparts, but they check all the boxes in the botanical world. Science is full of surprises, isn't it? We've all been there, standing in the produce aisle, confidently picking out fruits and vegetables. But what if I told you that some of the things we've been taught about fruits are simply not true? One common misconception is about a fruit we encounter almost every day, the apple. Yes, the apple, that classic symbol of health and knowledge. It's time to separate fact from fiction. You see, we often think of the fleshy part of the apple as the fruit, right? But, botanically speaking, we're only partially right. The part we enjoy, the sweet and juicy part, is actually an enlarged receptacle. Section 2, the real apple of our eye. Now you might be wondering, what about the core of the apple? Those little brown things we spit out, aren't those the seeds? And you'd be absolutely correct. Those are indeed the seeds, and they're enclosed in a structure called the carpels. And here's the kicker, the carpels are the actual fruit. They're the part of the apple that develops from the ovary. So the next time you take a bite of an apple, remember that you're enjoying both the fleshy receptacle and the actual fruit, the carpels. It's like a 2-for-1 deal, courtesy of Mother Nature. The apple is just one example of how our everyday understanding of fruits can be a little off. The world of botany is full of surprises, and it reminds us to always be curious and question what we think we know. So the next time you're enjoying a piece of fruit, take a moment to appreciate the science behind it. Think about the different parts, the seeds, the flesh, and how it all came to be. And remember, just because something doesn't fit our preconceived notions of what a fruit should be, doesn't mean it isn't. Science is all about challenging our assumptions and embracing the wonders of the natural world. Well, Well, there you have it, explorers. We've journeyed through the fascinating world of fruits and berries, debunked some myths, and discovered that even the most familiar foods can hold incredible secrets. So next time you enjoy a fruit salad, you might just impress your friends with these mind-blowing facts. And remember, science is all around us, waiting to be discovered. All it takes is a curious mind and a thirst for knowledge. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more fascinating episodes. Until next time, keep asking questions and never stop exploring the world around you. Bye for now.